I think I can relate to them because of my journey through school. I was branded as the dumb kid. I'm dyslexic and I'm still dyslexic today, not as bad as what I was. But back in school, I remember school, I'd be trying to read something, the words would literally jump all over the page and I'd get all my words back to front. So with that, I couldn't read. Simple as that. And so everyone else is reading and I'm sitting there and I'm dreaming out the window. So they look at you and they say, stop dreaming, you had it. But when you study people actually like Richard Branson and Walt Disney, John Lennon, the list of dyslexic people is phenomenal. And so when I learnt that, I turned that around. I thought, well, that's a good thing. And quite interesting, your chances of becoming a millionaire is actually 4 times higher if you're dyslexic. So for people out there listening to this, if you're dyslexic, good on you. A very dear friend of mine, and I'll say hi to Mostyn Farmer. Mostyn was my golf coach and still is my golf coach, so it just shows my golf hasn't improved too much. Mostyn is one of the nicest guys in the world, and he came to me one day and said, JR, would you have a talk to a young fella? I've got a young golfer, he's 17 years old, he has the most natural golf swing, the kid is talented. And I thought, why do you want me to talk to him? And he said, look, his parents gone through divorce, he's got a lot of stuff happening and he's feeling down in the dumps. Would you come and have a talk to him? And I thought about this for a while. I thought, what do you want me to talk about? And he said, just if you can pump him up or motivate him or get him going a little bit. And I thought, well, sometimes when you do that, it looks like an old person just trying to lecture a young person. So I said, what about we get 2, 3, 4 of his friends together and I'll come in and we'll do a little workshop and see how that goes. Simple, it's just an idea that happened like that. So we did this, and what actually happened was, it was a Friday morning, we had 3 people turn up, and these are young kids around 20 years old, and I had no idea what I was going to do with them 2 days before. I'm cleaning out my cupboard at home, and I come across an old pirated cassette series of a series called Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. And I remember when I first heard this, I was probably about 30 years old. Had a major effect on me. It was really good material. Later on I found, when I studied a lot of successful people, most of them referred back to this Lead the Field. And so I thought, I'll do a workshop on Lead the Field just to test it, to see if something that came out of the 60s will still work today. And the good news is, at the end of the presentation, the kids came up and said, we love this, would you do some more for us? We talk about when you network or you meet people, the simple rule I have, which I pass on to the young kids, is when you meet somebody for the first time, if you treat them as the most important person in the world, you'll get good energy back. As simple as that. And there's simple little techniques. Bill Clinton was a master of this. When you hear about Bill Clinton, you'd think of charisma. Everybody mentions Bill Clinton. And he had the amazing ability in dealing with people. Barack Obama, some of the great people, one of the great charms is their ability to get along with other people. So, good lesson. The opportunities are just so much bigger and brighter for them now. You can flick a button and you get all the information in the world, whereas just imagine 50 years ago, your grandparents couldn't even imagine a mobile phone that you could send a text to the other side of the world instantly. So there's so many good opportunities. But the good thing now, we're going into this period of the real creative time. We've had the industrial age and we've had the farming age, we've had all the different ages, but right now it's so creative and it's going to be really exciting. Embrace technology and all the new toys. The only thing is you've still got to go back to core values, which is doing the right thing, being honest. Just bring out the old 10 commandments, tick all those boxes off and you'll be pretty right. Those core values don't change at all. So anybody that's coming through now, if you look at all successful people at the top of their game, you will usually find that they're successful and that's how they got to the top. They didn't get to the top by accident. In most cases, they've earned the way there. And if you look at the person, it'll come down to integrity, honesty, doing the right thing. After I did the book, the amount of research we did into the book, we learnt so much, and I'd thoroughly recommend to anybody, if you've got a passion or anything at all, go and write a book, because you'll have to research it. And nowadays with the internet, there's so much information, you can learn so much. So any industry, there's the top 5%, and all you have to do is just commit If you read a little bit, you can soon become the leader. And the good news is every business out there is going to need new leaders in another 10 or 15, 20 years. So if you're a young person or even an old person, just go and study and learn a little bit. And the simple thing is don't give up, because we all get knocked around. You get kicked down, rejected, and if you're an author or a songwriter, you know, they get thousands of rejections, but you only need one. And the old saying, if you keep knocking and the door will open.